Hello guys, it is me again, it's HorrorFan34, and welcome back to another video, and I figured I'd do another list video for you guys. I'm going to be a part of the upcoming 12 Days of Horror Challenge for the month of December for Christmas, where it's going to be each day for 12 days, it's going to be Christmas horror reviews. I know Dave and Horrific Nightmares JM, Jason is going to be a part of the challenge as well, so stay tuned for those videos. But I figured I'd do this top 20 video because, Christmas is right around the corner. So I figured, to get into the Christmas spirit a little bit early, why not do a list of my top 20 favorite Christmas movies, or that take place around the holidays. A lot of these ones are really classic ones, and some of them are on here you probably never thought were Christmas movies. But they do take place around the holidays. And, these are just I could have done my top 10, but there was, so many more I could have chose from, so I had to do a top 20. Because there are a lot of majority of Christmas films that I do enjoy. I know I really enjoy, Miracle on 34th Street and things like that. I think I got that name right. Hopefully I did. But, anyways, and also too, anybody out there, if you guys want to do a response to this video, then go feel free to do so. I'd like to hear your guys' top 20 favorite Christmas movies. So let's get on to my top 20 favorite Christmas movies. Let me just fix the list. It's a little sideways. Okay, here we go. So, coming in at number 20 would be a newer film that came out a couple years ago, and that's Better Watch Out. This was a kind of like a Home Alone kind of like movie, like a home invasion kind of like movie, but with a bit of a twist that turns itself on its head. And it's such a really great twist, and it's a really fun, dark comedy with some horror elements in there as well. Better Watch Out is personally one of my personal favorite films of that year. I think it came out back in 2017 or 2016, but it was one of my personal favorites of that year. I thought it was just a really clever, dark comedy horror movie, where it was like Home Alone but with a little bit more of a twist to it. So, really do enjoy Better Watch Out. Number 19 is The Ref. People might be thinking The Ref, what in the world's The Ref? Well, if you don't know about The Ref, it takes place around the holidays, which I never even knew until I saw it recently. I'm like, oh, it takes place around Christmas. And it's basically about Judy Davis and Kevin Spacey as this couple that's bickering with each other. And you have Denis Leary coming in as a crook who's a criminal, and he holds the couple hostage. But the couple is bickering all night, and eventually it's driving Denis Leary crazy, and he can't deal with it anymore. And it's a really fun comedy film. I think Denis Leary does a great job. It's definitely one of my personal favorites of Denis Leary. Because I think this was right after Judgment Night he did The Ref. So, really do enjoy The Ref. Number 18 is The Night Before. This is a really fun comedy film with Seth Rogen, Anthony Mackie, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Also have people like Michael Shannon in the movie as well. Michael Shannon has a really funny scene in it. And just another one of those really solid Seth Rogen comedies. I always really enjoy Seth Rogen as a comedic actor. So I really did enjoy The Night Before. It's kind of an underrated film that doesn't get talked about in the more recent years. Came out a couple years ago. Number 17, of course, is Bad Santa with Billy Bob Thornton. Really fun comedy film, Christmas comedy, really dirty humor, really R-rated. Billy Bob Thornton does a great job. I know, sadly, it was the last film of John Ritter before he passed away, which was too bad. You also have people like, Bernie Mac in the movie. He's no longer with us anymore either. It's just a really fun comedy. The sequel, though, not good. But I really do enjoy the first Bad Santa. Number 16, of course, is Elf with Will Ferrell. This is a really fun, solid Will Ferrell film. I think this was actually the very first film I ever saw Will Ferrell in. Then I started seeing more of Will Ferrell stuff. I saw, Night at the Roxbury and things like that. Then when I got older, I started watching, Old School and things like that. I always thought Will Ferrell was a really fun comedic actor. You know, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. But really do enjoy Elf. Number 15, of course, is Jack Frost. No, not the one with Michael Keaton. This is the horror film Jack Frost that came out in 1996. It's just a really fun, just cheesy B movie where it's about a killer snowman, about this guy who's going to be executed, and the van's carrying him to the execution chamber, and he ends up falling out of, he ends up escaping, and then this truck, it collides with this truck, and you know, with all these chemicals on it, and like burns the guy alive, and he melts into the snow, and then he comes back as a snowman. Then of course you have, you know, him, you know, going after people in this small town. Just a really fun film. Really fun cheesy film. Love Jack Frost. Number 14, of course, I gotta go with Lethal Weapon. Lethal Weapon is a great classic action film that does take place around the holidays. Really great chemistry between Mel Gibson and Danny Glover. Really do enjoy the Lethal Weapon films in general, all four of them. Part 4 is the least favorite one for me, but I still do enjoy all 4 films. But the first one's the best one. You know, Gary Busey as Mr. Joshua and things like that. It's just an action classic. Number 13, of course, would be the original Black Christmas from 1974 by Bob Clark. This is a really great, solid, one of the more a really great influential horror film to the slasher genre, where you had films before, like after this, you would have films like, you know, Halloween and things like that. So you can kind of say like Black Christmas and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre were really some of the more influential films to the slasher genre, and then you had a lot of other films after that. But I think, you know, Black Christmas is just a classic. It's definitely one of Bob Clark's. I'd probably say it's probably my favorite Bob Clark film. I mean, I really do enjoy things like, you know, Christmas Story and things like that, which you'll see later on this list. So, number 12 is Christmas Evil. This is a really great Christmas horror film. It's about a guy who dresses up as Santa, and basically he makes his own naughty and nice list, and whoever's the naughty kids, you know, he kills their parents and things like that. It's the really great Christmas horror film. It's a slow burn slasher, but I think it works really well. I really do enjoy Christmas Evil. Number 11 is Batman Returns. Yeah, this does take place around the winter season, and you know, Batman Returns is really one of those one of my personal favorite Batman films. And you know, on top of that too, this was a topic I was meaning to talk about for a little bit now, because I really had to think really hard about this. When I was going through like the history of like all the actors that played Batman, I really had to, because I recently revisited the Michael Keaton films again, and they hold up very well. They're great movies with Michael Keaton in them. You know, I really do enjoy Ben Affleck in the new Batmans, but if I had to choose like my personal favorite Batman, believe it or not, I'm going to go with Michael Keaton, because Michael Keaton just has that great subtle voice to him. He's very subtle as Batman, and I think in this film it's easily my favorite performance of him as Batman. It's much more darker. I like the whole wintry setting in Gotham City. You know, you have Danny DeVito as the Penguin, Christopher Walken as Max Schreck, Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman. And it's just a really great movie. Love Batman Returns. I might split it off into 2 parts, but I'll see what I can get done in this part. But we're moving along pretty quickly. But coming in at number 10 would have to be Scrooged with Bill Murray, directed by Richard Donner. It's a really fun, silly idea of like a Christmas Carol where he plays like a Broadway director who's kind of mean to everybody, and then he's visited by the ghost, and he visits the 3 spirits of what his life could have been like, things like that. You have a great supporting cast members too, but people like, you know, Karen Allen from the Raiders of the Lost Ark, among others. I think this is just a really solid Bill Murray film. It's definitely one of my personal favorites of Bill Murray. Love Scrooged. Number 9, of course, is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Just a really classic one. One of my personal, probably my second favorite of the vacation films behind the first film. Because I like the first film the best, and then the Christmas Vacation would be my second favorite. But it's just a great classic. Love National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Coming in at number 8 would be Silent Night, Deadly Night. Great slasher. Probably my favorite Christmas horror film is Silent Night, Deadly Night. Love that film so much. Number 7, of course, is Gremlins. I mean, you gotta have Gremlins on there. Classic. Number 6, of course, like I said this before, Christmas Story. Classic. They play for 24 hours, of course, on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day on TBS. Number 5 is a really fun Christmas film that I do enjoy, and that's Jingle All the Way with Arnold. And him and Sinbad, but about the Turbo Man toy and Arnold and Sinbad fighting it off with one another. Really fun film. It gets a lot of hate, but I think it's a really fun film. Probably going to get all these in one part, which is cool. But coming in at number 4 is The Santa Claus with Tim Allen, the first film. Second one, it was decent. The third one, I was not a fan of the third one, but I think the first one's the best one, where Tim Allen basically becomes Santa Claus, and it's just a classic. It's a really great Christmas film. Number 3 would be the original Home Alone with Macaulay Culkin, a classic once again. And my number 2, I actually like this sequel the best, because I think I watched the sequel more, and my number 2, of course, is Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. I watched that one the most because, it's just a really fun setting in New York. I really do enjoy Tim Curry. I get a kick out of Tim Curry in this film, You must be horribly mistaken, sir. He gets down on his knees and goes, I love you. Tim Curry, I get a kick out of Tim Curry. It was actually the first time you got to see Rob Schneider in a movie. I think that was Rob Schneider's very first film he ever did was Home Alone 2. So that was cool. So, Home Alone 2, really do enjoy. And my number 1 favorite Christmas film of all time is, without a doubt, Die Hard. Die Hard is, without a doubt, my favorite Christmas film. The first time we get introduced to Bruce Willis as John McClane, I got a poster of Die Hard right up here. I'm looking at it right now. I'll probably show that when I do like a vlog around my room very soon. Maybe do like a little bit of an updated tour. But I got a Die Hard poster like literally right there. I'm looking at it right now. It's the first introduction you get to John McClane, played by Bruce Willis. You have Alan Rickman as Hans Gruber. And you have great other supporting cast members as well. You have Bonnie Bedelia from Salem's Lot. You have Reginald VelJohnson, who was Carl Winslow from Family Matters. And the other bad guys besides Alan Rickman, you have people like Alexander Godunov, Al Leong, who was Genghis Khan in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Big Trouble in Little China, among others. I love the whole setting in the building. It takes place during the holidays. John McClane's visiting his wife for Christmas, and then the building she's working at gets taken over by these bad guys, headed by Alan Rickman. And, John McClane has to save the day. Just a great action film. Easily my favorite Christmas film. So I actually managed to get all this in one part, which is awesome. So I hope you guys enjoyed this list. And like I said, if you want to do a response to this video, then feel free to do so. Because I'd like to hear what your guys' top 20 favorite Christmas films are. So thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Alright guys, take care.